And here we are. Happy Tuesday. What's going on? Got a lot going on. I'm kind of split-minded today. I'm kind of fork in the road. I'll explain here in a minute. Just checking everything. I think I actually followed the entire checklist today, and I've got the entire all my little steps put in place. Hey Kelly, good morning, sir. How are you? So yesterday, we entered the realm of the overall scoreboard. And one of the problems we ran into, or I ran into, is it's not going to be quite as easy as initially thought. Because each game level, because one of the components, and what we're just going to go to, let's just go to the iPad and sketch it out. And I can sit here and talk all day long, but let's put up the iPad. Give me a second here. We'll do a little producing. Need to move the camera up here in the corner. Something about like that, and we'll transition over. There we go. That should be coming through here any second. There's about a 5-second delay between what I'm seeing in my streaming software as opposed to what Facebook is showing up as. What I'm going to do is here's a sketch that we did last Friday, and this was the visualization of capturing how to calculate the best score per game. That's what all of this is. So what I'm going to do is let me check something because I'm afraid my Apple Pencil is dead. Oh gosh, I hope not. Let's give it a little. I had it on the charger. Oh no, it's not working. There it is. Come on. Of all the things. Come on, you can do it. And I can't unplug. There it is. No, it's working. Okay, let's try again. I'm going to duplicate, and we're going to rename that EP. What's today? 14, episode 14. And then I'm going to just take out a few things that we're not going to use. I don't need all of this right now. Can you hear me okay? I want to make sure my voice is coming in through. And a little, yeah, that's what I thought. A little volume to the mic. Let me check something, Tracy. Can you hear me okay? Yeah, so maybe the gain. Let's put the gain up a little bit. How's that? Can you hear me now better? I've got it maxed out. I don't know if it's the Yeti or, let me see if I pull it down this way. Put it closer to my face, maybe that's better. How about that? I need a different mic. I need something that's a little bit more directing instead of getting right up here in front of it. Now it's hiding my face. I wasn't having too much of a problem before. How's that? How's that, Tracy? Can you hear me better? I'll just talk louder. I will talk louder. That way you can hear me. Let's get rid of all this. Maybe I need to get one of those lapel mics that just hangs, so no matter which way I turn, that might be the better option. Can you see me now? I mean, can you see me now? Can you hear me now? Let's see. We're gonna go. This is episode 14, 829, and so here we go. Good, thanks. Hey, Andrea, how are you? A little hissing now? That might be my, that might be the computer fan, because I've got another process running in the background, and you can hear the horsepower generating up to handle that extra beef. Yeah, like I said, I need to get a different microphone, because there is some, for live broadcasting, and I've got it set to where it's only, the microphone, the Yeti, can only come in one, so it's coming in directly where I'm at. But that's not to say that it's not picking up. It's a constant battle. Constant battle. Oh, that was Andrea asking me. I'm sorry, that was Tracy. Sorry, Andrea. I thought that was you asking, or Tracy asking. That was about the mic. Okay, so that's better. Thank you. Okay, let's see. Where were we? So here's the thing. So if I'm on level 1 and I want to add the game level, let's say we're going to use game 1. So let's see. This is game 1. This is game 2. So the little numbers on top of these squares indicate which game it is. Now, in order to move that over to an overall scoreboard, we've already talked about how to get it into best game. So I would pass over, say the best game, I would pass over here. So no matter what the lowest score is, the best game would go there. Now, once you win, let's say this is level 1, so the best score once you win, obviously, is 3, because that's the minimum number of moves you can do in a 2-ring gameplay. Now, the number of moves per game, so if I were to, one of the things that we were thinking about is number of moves per game. That's different, because I'm capturing a hold down here. I'm holding these different score levels down here. But if you recall that previous formula, what's happening is those get reset every game. And I goes to the best game, but those get reset. So it's almost like I need another set of holding buckets, if you will, to hold the number of games played. So what I'm thinking is I need another variable, and it's almost like game, let's see, I'm going to write this out, level 1 game 1. Yeah, level 1, game 1. And then I would need to evaluate here's another thing, how many times would somebody play a game? So are they going to play 5 games? Are they going to play 3 games to win? What if we get up into the 4 and 5 ring gameplays, and there's 31 moves to win the 5 ring gameplay? Well, what if it took them 7 tries to get 31? So I have to accommodate how many what's the maximum number of gameplays? Because I don't have enough real estate, obviously, on the screen to accommodate unlimited number of games in one level. So one of the things I was thinking about is have 5. Oh, you know what? That's wrong. Hold on. Wrong. These are all 1s. Level 1, game 1, level 1, game 2, level 1, game 3, level level 1 game 4, and then finally level 1 game 5. And what I was thinking is limit gameplay, no, not gameplay, limit number of games per level max equals 5. So you only get five attempts, if you will, at each level. And then if you don't achieve the minimum number of moves within 5 games, then that level resets. Else level resets. Then what happens? What's the consequence? Is there a consequence? Is there a consequence to the game getting reset? What happens then? Do we track that? That maybe we put a level 1 reset number over here at the overall scoreboard. So that tells you that, you know, let's say it took you 8 times to achieve the winning number of minimum number of moves. But since each game level maxes out at 5 and you had to reset and start over, and then it took you 3 more. So that tells me it took you two times, 2 resets, 1 reset. I don't have to think through that. But that's a, you know, potentially, is that a consequence? What can we do there? The other thing that we identified, and I'll show you when we get into storyline, is one of the other things was that when you, if I want to look at, if I want to look at my scores, so there's my scores, so there's a little button, and when I go there and I look at my scores, but then when I come back, the game resets again. And that's just right now, that's just by default. That's just the way storyline is set up. So what you're doing is you're jumping to another slide, and then when you come back, what happens when you come back to the slide? Everything resets, right? Because those slides, remember, way back at the beginning, when we wanted to replay the game, like if you got to the you know, like 12 moves and you want to replay, well, it's jumping to itself, to its own slide. So every time that timeline starts, it's resetting the slide. So if I jump to my score, I'm not resetting variables, but the slide is resetting. So I'm losing everything, but all my scores are the same. So my moves are still the same, but now all my pieces are moved back to their starting position. So that's a problem. So one of the things is we could set alert. Are you sure? You know those things when you when you like close a document, Windows always comes up with a, are you sure you want to quit, or do you want to save, or do you want to cancel or discard, some kind of a prompt, and then give them a warning that if you go check your scores in the middle of a gameplay, you're gonna lose your level, and then that would be a consequence, right? So that would also go over here to this consequence. The other thought is to move the button to the feedback. So that means the only way you can check scores is after you complete a level. So that would eliminate the prompt and the alert and all that kind of mess. So, I mean, that's not saying it's right or wrong. It's one way we could do it. If we if we leave it available to where you can check your scores anytime during any gameplay at any level, then there's more effort in tracking and controlling that experience, so that we don't lose, momentum. We don't lose what's going on. Hey, Stephanie and Tracy, now doing Tracy. I was talking to you a minute ago, and you didn't. Your ears must have been ringing. I thought you had already joined. But if we move the score button out to the feedback, that way we've already finished the game. We already finished that game, so now I can go check my scores and come back, and no loss. So I think this might be the way to go right here. Not saying that this other option. So this is option 1 or option A. This is option A. I'll clean all this sketch up. I'm just free thinking. This comes back, you reset, and then this would be option B. And there. But for sure, I'm certainly going to need at least five extra variables to hold. And then what happens is each time we hold, we're going to pass. It'd be something like this. Let's do this. Equals assignment. Level 1, game 1 equals level 1 num moves hold if level 1 num games equals 1. Something like that. So essentially, every time we play a game, we take this value and we put it in this value, put it in that bucket. If if I'm on game 1, and then all of that would change to level 2, level 2, level 2. So level 2, game 2, level 1, game 2 equals level 1 nums hold if level 1 num games equals 2. So we'd have a trigger for each one of these that would pass that every time we play a game. Oh, another thing. Okay, let's get into storyline because let's see, we need to only show. So we hide all these references on screen too. That'd be another thing. We don't want to show 5 score 5. So if I did it in 3 games, I don't want to see my 4th and 5th. I don't want to see 0 in my 4th and 5th potential games if I didn't play them. So we need to only show if game played. Ooh, there's a lot going on right here. Whose bright idea was to do an overall scoreboard anyway? Who was that? I know it's one of you guys. Somebody threw that gauntlet down last week. I know it. I have notes. I can go back and I can call you out. So you can confess now or I'll call you out later. It's all good. I love this stuff. Okay, so one of the reasons I want to go to Sketch today too, because Storyline just released a update. So it was processing this morning, getting all that, getting all that ready to go. So let me launch Storyline now and get it coming up. And we'll transfer this over. Transition. Here we go. Hey, here's Michael too. What's going on, Michael? All right. Get settled in. time to storyline. Does that not come through on your side yet? There it is. It's taking a long time to load. It is really taking a long time to load. Or to boot up. That's been running for a little bit. Wow. Cue the Jeopardy music. Here it comes. Now I mentioned yesterday about doing I did publish it. I think I did anyway. While this is coming up. Let's see. What I wanted to do is I wanted to add a little survey on what you might think. I think, yeah, here it is. Let's see. Grab this. And let's go back over here. So, if you all want to, I haven't shared it publicly yet because it's still got a few little buggy things to it. But please take a moment to go there and offer some comments and things that you see that I've not been able to see. That would be fun. But I want to publish it publicly once I get some of these other mechanics figured out. So I'm going to play this through, and this kind of summarizes, really for me, what I just talked about and made notes on. So we're going to kind of visualize those notes now in real play to see what we may have or did not. I don't think I published the link, Tracy. I mean I published the link, but I don't think I shared it anywhere. So and then since then I've added some stuff and cleaned up some stuff since that version anyway. So okay, come on. All right, you see what I've done here is I've put my scores. Now this is just a prototype. So if I click on my scores, here's what I was talking about. I only have so much room. And this was yesterday. So number of games is 1 at level 1. Scores per game. And that was the variable I put in yesterday, but we're going to change that. It's going to be level 1 games 1. So we're going to change the name of that. But here's the problem. So if I go into ring 2, we'll just play with this level, ring 2. So here's my scores again. Now look at all the variables. So I'm at games 1 over here in the lower right. I have my hold bucket, my moves per this level on the lower left, and then my best game at the top. Now if I play this game out and let's get something higher than 3. So again, we'll come over here. Back over, that's 5. Now I'm going to drop here, it's going to say 6. So there's my best game so far. My moves is 6, hold is 6. Now watch what happens if I check my scores at this time. That's good, my best game is 6. Now I don't have this programmed yet, the scores per game. I didn't get that far yesterday. And I'm still at game 1. Now if I close this out and then look again, notice that didn't reset, right? Because what happened is I went from the feedback layer to my scores. Instead of when I click on the play again button on the feedback, that's what resets all the variables. Because I went and checked my scores before I hit that button, I come back and it looks like another game, but I'm still on game 1. So all of that kind of broke, or didn't really break. It's just it hasn't been addressed yet. So that's one of the concerns. The other concern is if I play a game and say in the middle of a game, and we're just going to use this data here for a minute. If I go check my score, I still come back with the same, and then if I go back, I've lost my positions of where everything is. So what we have to do is we have to really consider how we're going to use this button and where it's positioned and what happens when you click it and come back. So if you're leaving game and coming back. So there's a lot more to consider than just adding a button and adding an overall score. I mean, there's a lot more to consider here. So we're kind of at the crossroads. We've got to kind of step away and design a little bit. And that's what it's not that difficult. I just did it, kind of sketched it out this morning, some thoughts. But there's one thing that we do have to do, and then I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. So we're in game ring, what do you call it? One of the things, well, let's back up. One of the things is to take this button and let's not offer the ability to show your main scores or your overall scores while you're in the middle of a gameplay. That's going to eliminate a lot of problems. So I'm going to take it off of the base slide and only put it on the feedback. So you can only see it at the feedback level. That solves a big problem. The other thing is, I'm just now noticing how easy this is going to be. Notice we have the play again button and see where it resets everything, right? Well, we got to be careful here because we do want to reset. So what I'm going to do, I think the easiest thing to do, and we've got level 1 true here. What is level 1? Why? What is that variable for? Why is it there? I know it's there for a reason. Let me look here at my notes from the other day. Level 1. I have one variable for each one. And then when I go to overall score, this is where that's what it's for. It's navigation. Duh. So this tells me that I'm coming from 2-ring gameplay. This trigger right here, that's telling me I'm coming from this slide. So when I go back, when I leave the overall scores, I want to be sure I come back to this slide. So what I'm going to do, because all of those other triggers are already associated with this button, I'm just going to make a copy of this button. And we're going to call this my scores. So we've got that. I'm going to call this my scores. And I need this one trigger right here, this level 1 to true. I need to put it on this button. Move that up and get rid of this button. There's a little bit of delay here too, and it's like a ½ a second delay. I'm going to put that here, and then this trigger, we're not going back to start, we're going to overall 4.1. So let's think through that a minute. Add 1 to games, yes. No. No, we don't. Because I'm not starting a game again. If I go here and then back, Because that's going to say game 2, and I'm not on game 2 yet. So how do I address that? Let's see. We know it doesn't go here because we don't want to add a game even if I'm just checking my scores. So I know that comes out. That's for sure. Now if I add here's the other here's the other thing. What if I don't want to play another game? What if I want to go back to the start? Because if I go back and I close and I go back to rings, it's still going to say game 1. But it's going to be ready to play game 2. So how do I get game 2? One way we can figure this out. We could put the option down here. Play again or home. Like home or play again. Let's give that a test. So home. Actually, what's a good play again? What's a good play again icon? I don't know. And Tracy, no, I have not figured out the 3 lives thing yet, or the replay, all that other nonsense you and Kelly stirred up last week. Okay, so one of the thoughts I had today was I was going to just add, we're ready to add the 4-ring gameplay. That's busy work. We already have the pattern. The gameplay works fine. But one of the things is we don't figure this out. Then we're going to have to come back and do it for each level and build onto each level. Or we do it now, add these 2 levels, and then just then follow that pattern. So it's kind of a fork in the road kind of thing. So this is going to go to, this is just going to simply go home. Start when the user clicks. And what variables do I need to reset? So at next level, what's going on down here? I'm resetting a lot of stuff here. So I'm going to copy level 1 games to 0. No, we don't want to do that at the home because we've already played that game. Level 1 moves, yes. You know what? We don't want to do this either now that I think about it. Because if I reset this here, if I play the next level and I'm setting the games to 0, then that's going to alter it's going to alter this right here. If I ever come back and look at my, let's say I go to game 3 and I want to check my scores, this is going to say 0 if I come back. So what I need to do is we need to take this one, we need to take this out. We don't need that in here no more. And my scores, yeah, so we don't have it there, we don't have it there. We don't want to reset games at all, no matter what we do. And then add one, play again, we do. That's the only place we have the add is right here. We don't want it at next level. But then we want to reset this one at overall score. So we want to reset this one. And this is that's button home. And this is actually button close. So we want to reset the moves. What else do we want to reset? We want to reset the hold. Come on. Reset the hold. Oh, come on. Why is that not pasting in there? I'll just do it this way. Copy it here. And then I got to change it. There. And what else do we need to do? We need to set our rings back to 0. So let's grab this one, copy, overall score, buttons, paste. Look at that, paste is not working. It worked a minute ago. Come on. Look at that, it's not working. Copy, paste. And it's not working. Oh, there it goes. Set ring 1 to 0. Now let's see if I can copy this one. Yeah, that worked. I don't know what was going on. Ring 2. Okay. So that takes care of going home from here. And then, what was the other thing? We were going to play again. So I'm going to copy that button because I want to copy those triggers again. Put that about like that. Remove the icon and just put in here, play again. It's getting kind of complex. Kelly, yeah, well, nature of the beast, right? It is software. One of the things that I often say is you have to be aware that Storyline is software first, and software is buggy, and it runs on Windows. So that's all I got to say. Be prepared, because it's going to behave. It's going to misbehave occasionally. Okay, so we got our button play again. And what are we doing here? Play again. Now this is where we jump back to, this would be the same if I click the close button. No, if I click the close button, I don't want to do anything. I'm just checking scores and going back. If I play again, oh, now what do we do? what I'm thinking is those two buttons, the close button and the play again, they kind of cancel each other out. So I really don't need the play button. I can keep it there or the close button, either or. But I don't want to reset things. If I just come here to check and then close, I don't want to because the close button hides the, here's the thing. Here's the deal. I'm on this layer right now. So when I leave this slide and come back, this layer is going to hide. And I'm coming back here. I'm starting over. It's going to look like that. Because the settings are to reset to initial state. So I'm coming from one slide back to this slide. So this is what's going to, this is what it's going to look like. It doesn't matter if I was here or not. Now, can we add a mechanism to come back to this exact layer from another slide? Yes, we can. Would that be easier? And to do that, we would have to have 4 more triggers to track which layer we're coming from. Whether it's the win on tower B, the win on tower C, or the win with multiple. Well, on here we're not going to. Are we going to check scores on this one? I don't know. Maybe not. Let's do this. Let's do this. Let's take out a play again. And everything is going to resolve around this. Because there's no sense putting all of the triggers to reset variables when they're already here, either at next level or play again. They're already there. So to avoid redundancy and extra work, it's something we can add later, no doubt, but for minimum viable product, which we're totally blew that out of the water, I'm going to come back to this level, this layer. So we need a variable that can speak to that level. So level 1 win C. True, false, false. And then we need another one for level 1B. False. So those two variables are going to count here. So when we get to this layer, so we go through the gameplay, we win, we get to this layer, we set this variable to true. Where's that? Did I not just create those variables? What's going on? Did I hit cancel instead of... I must have hit cancel. No, I didn't. You saw me create those. Win C. True, false. Yeah, it's right there. I see it. I see you. It's there. Number 1 game B. False. B and C. Okay, they're there. See? Okay, now create, adjust. There they are. 1 7 equals value true when timeline starts. Way up here. Level 1C, I'm going to move that up to right there. Now, I go to overall score, and I go back, and then on the base layer, show layer, win C, when the timeline starts, if when C is equal to true. Okay. So what's going to happen? We're going to play the game. We're going to win. We're going to check our overall score. We're going to go to, then we're going to go here to overall score, and then we're going to click the close button, and then we're going to come back, and we should still be on this layer. Make sense? Piece of cake. I'm going to go with 5.3 just to kind of get a diversion here. It's going to work. If that works, then that's probably the easiest way to manage this behavior. I think. Okay, level 1, and we're just gonna go ahead and win Tower C, because that's where we've got that set up right now. We're at Tower C. Now I'm going to go check my scores. I'm on that layer, or that slide, best game, number of games. I'm going to close. I should go back to that same layer. Yes! Okay. Now, yeah, that works. Try something else. Let's try. I'm just testing something here. Go here, scores, and let's say I'm done. I'm going to go back home. Did I unlock that? Yeah, because it's already true. So then I can go to screen gameplay. Yeah. Okay. We got us a solution. We got a solution. Okay, so let's do this for, we need to take this button and put it up on this layer. All that stays the same. Over here we have level 1 to true, and we have to go here paste this one here, but this is now level, this is win B. And then finally, down here, we need to add the other layer. And this would be tower B. If tower or B variable is true. There. Now, I should be able to do both and go back to each corresponding layer. You know, where the win feedback layers. And ring 3 is locked. That's good. Ring 2, 2 ring. So let's win tower C. Okay. I can play again here if I want. I can go to next level if I want. Play again is going to add another game. I'm going to go check my scores. Ooh, did you see that? All of these, well, they reset. That's okay. Because I'm at the win. Uh-oh, what's going on here? What is that? This is showing, oh, you know what that is? Remember these two? We have to hide them. Even though we move, excuse me, even though we move or drag these off of the base layer, this is considered the starting position in a drag and drop. And even when we come over here, these are new objects on a layer, but that's the base layer graphics are still there. So what we need to do is ensure that these two remain hidden. Just to make sure that we're not hiding the wrong ones, we want to hide ring 2 on the base layer. And then also ring 1 on the base layer. And then we need to do the same thing over here. Just make sure. The one you want to make sure, because see there's two names, ring 2 and ring 2, there's two objects with the same name. And you just have to make sure that we're hiding the one on the base layer and not the object on the actual layer. So always, even though that looks like the right trigger, it could be pointing to the wrong object. Okay, so that takes care of that. All right, let's give that another test. Wow, that's taken a whole hour just to figure this out. Well, we got it figured out. I'm pretty excited about that we got that figured out. Yesterday we were just kind of going down a rabbit hole. So I think we've got it pretty much figured out. 2-ring gameplay. Now, we're going to win on tower C. Now notice what a minute ago, watch these reset when I hit this score. A little bit of a delay. Well, that's all right. So now when I go back, I should go back to that same level. There he is. Now those are hidden. Good. But now I can't play these, right? Because there's no drag and drop anymore. That's it. So I have the opportunity now to play again or go home. Let's play again. Oh, you know what? Let me ask you this. Play again. Oh, play again's not working. What did I break? Ah. Yummy. Okay, so here's what's going on. We jump to our slide. And remember, when this layer starts, we're setting this trigger to true, that value to true. And then when this slide starts again, what are we telling it to do? Go right back to that layer again. So we've got ourselves into this sort of endless loop. So play again, we have to then reset our win C back to false. There's so many components going on with this, each one of these triggers on this. So these buttons, you think about it, look at, some of these triggers are associated to gameplay, some of these triggers are associated to scoring. So a lot of that has to do with the way I name the variables, but I think I need to get some kind of a documentation put together so I know what the heck I'm doing. All right, let's play it again. Now we'll wrap up the hour with this last test here, but I think we got a good pattern. We still have to build out the presentation of the scoreboard, and we didn't add the other level, you know, that other piece that I actually sketched out. So we kind of went in a different direction here. I went on tower C. Check my scores. Close. Now play again. I should be out. This should go to 2, and I should start over. Yeah. There we go. Now let's win on tower B. Two games, best game 3. Should it matter if the scoreboard shows which tower the game was won on? No? I don't know. Maybe not. I blame all of this extra stuff on Tracy and Kelly. We could have been done building this game by now. But you just had to add some kind of scoring. You just had to add all this extra stuff. But we're good. That's good. I'm pretty satisfied with that. Now all I need to do is add all of this we just did here. I need to add it over to 3-ring gameplay. And then we need to get this piece working here, the scores per game. And if I remember correctly, in our notes, what do we call them? Level 1, game 1. So this should be level 1, game 1. And if I have the variables, I don't think I have these. I don't have these variables created yet. No. I just pretended. So let's see. This would be LV1, game 1. and that's a number variable. LV game 1, game 2, 3, 4, 5. And then after this gets set up, then we need to add that, max limit number of games. I think, I don't know, I want to get at least one level working, in terms of all the scoring and everything. And then I think I'll shift gears and then go add 4-ring gameplay. Because adding the extra gameplays to the next 2 levels are really just it's just busy work. Because if we get it all working, it's just busy work. So this is level 1, game 1. And then I'll add the mechanism for all this tomorrow. And that should wrap us up for the day. Kabam. All right. It's all good. Saving that out. All right. Kelly's got extra information. Start, finish, tower. Not needed unless we're recording scoring for strategy sequence. Oh, that's a great comment, Kelly. You're right. The only thing when it comes to if I ever venture into that auto replay feature, that's separate from scores, but the idea is to win. I mean, the idea is to move from Tower A to Tower C. I'm giving it the opportunity to win on anything other than Tower A, so Tower B or C. So I think you're right. It's extra, just that you win. It doesn't matter which tower that you move the stack, right? So we'll just go with that for now. Good stuff. I wish there was a faster way to do these transitions. I mean, I've got a feed over here where I can set up and flip it over, but anyway, I don't have enough cameras to do it all. Had a great time today. Got a lot done today. I feel better today than I did yesterday. Not that we didn't get things done yesterday, but feel like we got a lot accomplished in an hour today. Got some notes, got some new thoughts out, new logistics on how to set up that scoring. We got it working. Now it's just plugging in the triggers to pass those game levels over, to include kind of putting a prompt that says, you're at your 5-game limit. So all of this has to be, in a tutorial. We got to write up a tutorial yet. We got to put a how to play thing together yet. Yeah, there's still quite a bit of work to do, but hey, it's fun. It's coming together. We're moving forward. It only took us 8 episodes to figure out that we were going in the wrong direction. So episode 8 is when we scrapped everything and we started over. So we're at 14. So we're almost double the effort. But we've got a lot accomplished since then compared to when we first started. So anyway, it's all good. Extra good, extra good. Thanks for joining. Tomorrow, we're out here tomorrow. I got some other commitment tomorrow this time. We are back Thursday and Friday this week. So 2 more good solid hours of development. And I hope you can join us. So thanks. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.